Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 72 of Brat Said That. I am your host, Brat Jackson, along with my co-producer, AJPW. We hope everybody's having a great Friday. Hope everybody's been enjoying this summer. Hope everybody's just going to have a good weekend. I am excited. We have so much to talk about right now. We got so much to talk about for today, for tomorrow. We had the NBA draft a few days ago. We got the NHL draft happening in a couple of days. If I'm talking a little weird, it's I've been dealing with this lip issue, where I don't know if it's an allergic reaction to something or what, but my lips swelled up and my eyes started swelling. So I'm okay now, but I look like a mess. I look like I got beat up. I might have got beat up in my sleep, but who knows. But welcome, everybody. We're going to have a great show. Tonight is a big night. I'm so excited for, what we're going to talk about at the end of the show. But Roastamania 11 is here. Yes, if you know me, I am horrible at roast battles. I am 0 for 3. But, I've gotten pretty close with the guys who created it, Sean and Mike. And, tonight is the night, number 11. So proud of that. So happy for them. It's going to be a great time. Wise Guys, Town Square, my favorite place to be besides being home with Babe and the dogs. But really, we're in for a good show because we got a lot to talk about. And we're going to start inside the squared circle. A little bit of breaking news, results, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a whole lot of Brat. Bro, I just that's the new theme of the show. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a whole lot of Brat. Send it to the internet, copyright. I'm excited. See, we're already making history. Episode 72. By the way, last show uploaded 71, and it's getting really good views on YouTube. So check it out. We're up to, I know, this doesn't sound like a lot, but to me, it is. We are up to 42 views. 42 views. Oh, I'm so excited. 42 views. I posted on my Twitter, and I commented on one of the big MMA sites, and it just kept liking, over 500-600 likes. So I'm like, let me kind of slide my episode in from yesterday or the other day. So we're at 42 views. I think the most we ever had was 50. So dudes, girls, we're almost there. We're almost there, but we are almost at Night of Champions. That is tomorrow. They recorded SmackDown, so we're gonna do a quick spoilers. SmackDown. Ricky Sainz and Trick Williams open the show. They're gonna fight for the United States Championship. So, those two went back at it. Ricky Sainz probably said something ridiculous, and Trick Williams probably said lemon pepper steppers or something. But that's going to be a great match. Tama Tonga and Tala Tonga split from Solo Sikoa. Wow. So the MFTs are no longer, which is good because that kind of tag team faction wasn't really working. Now you can have Solo focus on the bloodline with his brothers and his uncle. Because, yes, Roman Reigns is Jay and Jimmy's uncle and Solo's. They call him cousin, but in reality, it's the uncle. Rey Fenix defeated Nathan Frazier. That looks like a great high-flying match. The War Raiders, yes, R's and W's, confronted the WWE Tag Team Champions Damian Priest and R-Truth. Little fresh blood, kinda. I know War Raiders been around forever, even when they were War Machine and Ring of Honor. But, Damian Priest and R-Truth, they've held that title on for a little bit. So, is it time for the War Raiders to get that title? I don't know how many times they've won the titles. It goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Hey, Bubba. Solo Sikoa and LA Knight, had an in-ring confrontation. I'm sure LA Knight was pissed at Solo for getting into the business with Jay and Jimmy. A whole lot of bloodline mess. Oh, babe. We discovered, hi babe, I know you're in the chat. We discovered the new slogan for the show. A little bit of this and a little bit of that, but a whole lot of Brat. And we're up to 42 views from episode 71. So that is breaking records. But yeah, I'm glad you're here because we had a Danhausen match on SmackDown. Spoilers, by the way. Danhausen and Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder, defeated Los Garza with a little help from The Miz and Kit Wilson, who are both still hypnotized, electrified. Paige defeated Jason Jane. Jade Cargill defeated Chelsea Green. And Julia defeated Kiana James, and it was attacked by Blake Monroe. And then at the end of the show, Cody Rhodes and Gunther, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, and Oba Femi ended the show in a massive brawl ahead of Night of Champions. So that's awesome. So Night of Champions tomorrow. Spoilers. So yeah. So that was taped on Tuesday. I know WWE is like really upset that like it got out and leaked, but that's what happens. It's the internet. Everything is everything's leaked out. But we're going to talk about Night of Champions because it is tomorrow morning, which I love these early morning shows. I don't love them being in Saudi, but I do love them being early morning, afternoon. 11 a.m. on the West Coast, 1 p.m. 11, 12, 1, no. 10 a.m. on the West Coast, 1 p.m. on the East Coast. We gave our predictions. Jay versus Oba. I think Brock Said That costs Oba that match, and King Jey Uso is born. Io Sky versus Liv Morgan. Io versus Liv. Does Liv win the title of Queen of the Ring and go fight for the other women's championship? Or are they gonna combine the women's championship to one championship? Who knows? Trick Williams, Ricky Saints, we talked about that. That's going to be a great United States Championship match. I love you. Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins, still cage match. Not very Night of Champions-y, but, you know, that feud has been going on for months and months, so hopefully this ends in a steel cage. Cody Rhodes versus Gunther, Sami Zayn. I don't see a new title change, but imagine Sami winning the WWE Championship. Imagine Gunther winning the WWE Championship. They're clearly going to have Jay versus Cody, so Cody's going to retain. And then Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. I mean, for the United States Women's Championship, I don't know. I feel like those two are equal. Tiffany obviously is a little bit better, but I think their standings, they're pretty much in the same spot. So if they want to put the title on Jade, I can see that very happening easily. But, you know. But tomorrow is a huge day. Sunday, though. Sunday. Imagine if that's how that guy talked all the time. Like, he's just at home, like, Sunday. Pass the potatoes. How was your schoolwork? So the Great American Bash is tomorrow. Not only that, it is NXT Great American Bash, TNA Slammiversary, and AEW Forbidden Door. We've talked about the three shows. We talked about the on top of each other. I cannot wait. NXT, the Great American Bash. We got Dion Lennox versus Saquon Sugars. Great name. Ren Sinclair versus Ariana Grace for the Speed Championship. Boo. Miles Bourne, not in the match. I don't like the Speed Championship. Miles Bourne versus Tavian Heights, NXT North American Championship. Love Miles Bourne. Shiloh Hill versus Tristan Angels, singles match. Zarya versus Tatum Paxley for the NXT Women's North American Championship. Lola Vice versus Kendall Gray for the NXT Women's Championship. And Tony D'Angelo versus Naruko, a.k.a. Evil, for the NXT Championship. Wow, what a card. This is Night of Champions right here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, if you include the Speed Championship. But that is amazing. That's going to be great. We're going to have such a huge show on Monday. But we got to finish Friday's show. We still started NXT Great American Bash. TNA Slammiversary, yes. I kind of didn't really do like a retrospect because Slammiversary is really their like debut show. Like, I didn't put a little respect on the Slammiversary pay-per-view like I would have done for WrestleMania because I feel like this is the WrestleMania Slammiversary, maybe the anniversary show. But June 28th, again, like we said, in Boston, Massachusetts. A big card. Go check it out. Every championship's being defended. Eddie Edwards versus Moose. AJ Francis versus Elijah. Just some matches to announce. Santana versus Nick Nemeth. That's going to be fantastic. And a 4-way ladder match for the TNA World Championship, Tag Team Championship. Brian Myers and Bear Bronson versus the Broken Hardys, Broken Matt, Broken Nero, the Hardy Boys, versus the Righteous. Vincent and Dutch versus the Great Hands, Jason Hodge and John Schuyler, plus more. Check it out. And then AEW is having Forbidden Door. We've talked about that so much. Check out the card. We talked about the card last time. Don't think any other matches were announced. Okay, maybe we got Matt and Nick, the cousins, cousin Nick and cousin Matt versus El Sky Team, Mystico and Mascara Dorado versus Unbound Club, Shingo Takagi and Titan. So that looks like the only new match that is announced. And then the big steel cage match, Briscoe, Cassidy, Strong, O'Reilly, Takeshita, and Art Allen versus MJF and the Don Callis family. And the finals of the Owen Hart Cup, Mercedes Moné versus Maya World, and Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland. I keep calling him Shane Strickland. Well, that's his name, right? Shane, right? Yeah. Swerve, Shane, yeah. So I keep calling him by his indie name. But it's going to be a great week. It's going to be a great weekend. Great Sunday. I'll be working, but I will make sure I check every single show so we can get back on Monday and talk about wrestling, because that's what we do. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a whole lot of Brat. Love it. Let's see how many views I got. See, now I don't care about views. Obviously, if I get 10 views, great. 5 views, fantastic. 42 views now? 44 views? Let's do it. And 13 views on the last episode. So, yeah. That's been great. A little bit of sad news. I know we're on a high right now, but the wrestling world is mourning the passing of Joe Doering, who died at 44 after battling brain cancer. I know him. I liked watching him. And, it's kind of those things where, you hear about something, and then, it just happened so fast, Only 44. He was in W for a little bit of time in FCW. But he was in TNA for the last few years. Did a lot in AJPW. And, unfortunately passed away. He was diagnosed after second surgery and announced in November that he was diagnosed with a third brain tumor and entered hospice care on June 23rd and died 3 days later today. So rest in peace to him. Very, very sad. Very, very, very sad. Anybody that passes away in the wrestling world, we have to respect, show our condolences for, and rest in peace to him. We're gonna move on to NWO Chronicles Week 5. We are almost at Bash on the Beach. The match is set. Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and a mystery third partner versus Sting, Lex Luger, and the Macho Man. But who's the third partner? We're going to find out next week. But I do want to get to where this NWO came from. It was Eric Bischoff's idea, which he kind of saw in Japan. In 95, he went to Japan. AJPW was running this, hostile takeover invasion, right? And it was like a shoot style, promotion. UWF, NJPW. And they invaded New Japan, and Eric Bischoff was like, hey, I like this, and I'm going to bring it to America. And then, wrote it down, and we were just 1 week away about finding who the mystery man is going to be at Bash at the Beach 1996. Let's see as WCW executive producer, Bischoff attended AJPW Starrcade at the Tokyo Dome in January 1996, where he witnessed a red-hot crowd reaction to this invasion. So, Eric Bischoff thought of it. Well, Eric Bischoff saw it, wanted to bring it back to America, and this is where we are now, NWO. And we're going to keep going. The NWO storyline has been running hot, okay? People like, who's the third man? We talked about last week, could it have been Mabel, Luger, Sting, Macho? Could it have been Vince McMahon himself? No, it couldn't have been. But imagine so. But we're going to find out. We're going to go a little bit back in time because this happened in 1976. Yes, a insane, I don't know what to call it, the War of the Worlds. Muhammad Ali, yes, we did a show about Muhammad Ali, versus Antonio Inoki. Yes, the greatest Japanese wrestler of all time. They had a special rules fight gathering competition. Like in 1975, at a reception held in the United States, Ali was introduced to the president of Japanese Amateur Wrestling Association. Again, Wada to Inoki. And then I guess those two wanted to fight or have a shoot competition. 15-minute round draw. Rules. The fight was contested under specially created rules. Due to varying claims over the years, it is difficult to know the reasons behind their implementations. Inoki initially responded to Ali's challenge to having a bare-knuckle match. Imagine that. I don't know. Ali. Antonio Inoki in his prime versus Ali in his prime. Not boxing. Bare knuckle. Let's see. On March 25th, 1976, Ali and Inoki held a press conference in New York City. Both parties agreed to a KO or submission in order to recognize the victor, while Ali wearing boxing gloves and Inoki fighting barehanded. Overall, like, it just... Inoki made his entrance first, accompanied by amateur wrestler Karl Gotch, Olympic judo medalist Seiji Sakaguchi, wrestler trainer Kotsuyu Yamamoto, and boxer No, I can't pronounce these words. I apologize. But you've been watching 72 episodes. You know I can't pronounce shit. So round 5, round 6, round 15... Ali landed 9 significant strikes during the fight when Inoki landed 78. After Ali gave a speech about how he thought himself as a winner due to Inoki's cowardness, the judges gathered to decide the result. Aftermath, the results meant no one had to lose. Inoki claimed that he had won, while Ali could defend by saying his opponent has cheated. So... The legacy fight, though, it was insane. It was absolutely insane. This brought, like, other ideas to, like, Leon Spinks, Rumble in the Jungle, all these insane things. It was just an insane match. I don't know. Let's look at the scorecard. Let's see. Muhammad Ali, Louisville, Kentucky, 52-2, 34 years of old age, 6'3", 218. Antonio Inoki, the burning fighting spirit. 0-0, professional boxing. Obviously, he was a wrestler. 33 years, 4 months, 6'3", 220, catch wrestling and karate. The NWF heavyweight champion. But, so it was a spectacle. A big spectacle. And, go watch it, because it is exactly that. And, let's see, legacy. Ali and Inoki became good friends following the fight. Inoki started using Ali's theme music. Oh, that's cute. And then Ali would lose to Larry Holmes. Yeah, so, it's kind of like seeing McGregor versus... It's like McGregor versus Mayweather. That's pretty much that version of it. A little bit different because McGregor and Mayweather were both martial artists. And Inoki wasn't, but... Yeah. That was the 70s. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Anyway, we're going to move on to the UFC because, yes, the UFC is on a roll. UFC White House numbers are announced with record-breaking numbers. Final global numbers for the event were released by UFC today. And factoring in viewers from Australia, China, India, South Korea, New Zealand, and the UK, the event reached 34 million viewers worldwide, according to the release. So... like I said, you take everything political out of it, even though it's hard to do. That was a major success. Wasn't a home run. It was a grand slam. Good for the UFC. And but we're back to the UFC tomorrow. UFC Fight Night is going to be in, let me make sure I get this right. Baku, Azerbaijan. Yes. Headlined by Rafael Fiziev versus Manuel Torres. Fiziev, 13-5. 1 win out of his last 5. He's looking to bounce back. Needs to bounce back. The Manu Torres, 17-3, 2-fight win streak. Performance of the night. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 times. Insane. It's going to be one of those fight cards where you got to watch it. So, yeah, I'll check it out. I'll watch it. Then you got the, man, I don't know how to say his name. Sharabutin Magomedov. He's a pirate. The one with the one eye. He's fighting. Michelle Pereira in middleweight bout. They had a little scuffle at the weigh-ins, and he pushed him, which is insane. A lot of fighters with the last name that ends in V. So, I don't know where you can rank those up, but, yeah. It's going to be in Azerbaijan, which is that way. And check it out. It's going to be UFC Fight Night. It's probably going to be on during the day, or I don't know. The UFC is weird. Like, they have these international fights, but they have the fighters fight at like 3 a.m. so we can watch it at 5 p.m. I don't know. Anyway, speaking about fighting and MMA, Chris Cyborg, yes, one of the greatest women fighters of all time. She is going to call it a career after she defends the PFL Championship versus Caitlin Vieira in coming up. PFL Women's Featherweight Champion, who was previously a champion in the UFC, Bellator, Strikeforce, and Invicta, will defend her title in a retirement fight against former UFC contender Caitlin Vieira in the main event of PFL Tampa on August 22nd. The promotion announced Wednesday. Cyborg, you know, I know she's got her little problems back with the roids, but watching her fight was fun. Like, there's some of these fights like Fedor, just knocking these people out. She's only lost twice, one to Amanda Nunes in 51 seconds, and her very first fight back in 2005. She went on a tear, defeating Gina Carano, Leslie Smith, Lena Landsberg, Tanya Edvinger, Holly Holm, Yana Kutsukaya, Felicia Spencer, Julia Budd, Kat Zagano, Larissa Pench. She is amazing. So, good for her. Very, 2009 Women's Fighter of the Year. 2010 Women's Fighter of the Year. So, but talking about champions, Alexander Usyk is vacating all heavyweight championship belts. He's planning a last dance, which means he's going to retire soon. Usyk won his last fight against Rico Verhoeven in a very controversial fashion, but he's vacating all belts, and he is vacating the unified WBA, IBF, and WBC heavyweight championships. It says he is not retiring. However, as he has one last dance before he calls it a career. Well, that's what it said. He's going to vacate it, fight, and then retire. Brat Said That. But yeah, I want to see him fight Tyson Fury again. That would be, the third time they fought. He is 25-0. 26-0. Is he going to retire at 26-0? More than likely. You don't just, vacate belts because you felt like it. I mean, maybe you do. I don't know. But usually retirement follows soon. Anyway, one more thing about little MMA. Floyd Mayweather's exhibition fight against Mike Zambitas in Greece on Saturday has been called off, according to federal court records filed Thursday. The fight has been in question after CSI, an events company contacted to hold two other Mayweather fights, sued Mayweather in the Southern District of New York. District Court alleging breach of contract and file an emergency injunction petition to halt the fight. So that sucks. Mayweather's been doing all these weird fights. I mean, the Conor McGregor fight wasn't too weird, but, all these little exhibition fights like he had with one of the Paul brothers, he's got more money than we ever need, so just retire, enjoy. You probably be the next mayor of Las Vegas, but moving on. MLB, no shocker here. The New York Mets fired their manager, Carlos Mendoza, on Friday, with the club toiling through a 6-game losing streak in a disastrous season. Andy Green was named interim manager for the remainder of the season. He would take over 34-47 club, coming off a hatless 4-game sweep at the hands of the Chicago Cubs. Who loses to the Cubs? To fall to a season where it's 13 games under 500. So, boo, Mets. Not good. But the future for the MLB might be a little bit different than what we see. Because I don't know if we talked about this, but there's all this news about the MLB alignment, a realignment, changing, the AL East and Central and West, and changing it up. 4-team division. And I'm going to tell you what it is. A potential, I think we talked about this, but, NL Midwest, the Cubs, the White Sox, the Cardinals, and the Reds. Please, give me that division. We'll be in first place every single year. NL Central, Rockies, Kansas City, Texas, and Houston. Wow, what a shit division that is. NL Southwest, Dodgers, Padres, Angels, and Diamondbacks. Well, I mean, the Dodgers are the best team in baseball the last few years, so. NL Northwest, Seattle, the Las Vegas Athletics, San Francisco, and the new team, the Portland team. I mean, cool, Portland. And then American League, look at this one. The Yankees, Mets, Red Sox, and Phillies. The Yankees win that division every year. The AL Mid-Atlantic, Orioles, Washington, Pittsburgh, and the Guardians. That's a bad division. The AL Great Lakes, gotta change these names. The Twins, Tigers, Brewers, and Blue Jays. Wow, that's a bad division. And the AL Southwest, Braves, Marlins, Tampa Bay Rays, and a new Charlotte team. So, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we will get some new teams coming into the next few years, but, those divisions kind of suck. I'm not going to lie. I mean, you have one with the Rockies, the Kansas City Royals, the Rangers, and the Astros, the Trastros. No, please no. And then Orioles, Nationals, Pittsburgh, and Guardians. Ew. No. But I just X out of that before. But anyway, I mean, we are talking about the lull period. MLB is in the lull period. We got the All-Star. We did talk about the All-Star game, and we did get the finalists. Yes, the finalists have been announced. MLB has announced the finalists. I said the same thing twice in different ways. I don't know. Let's see. We now have a finalist for the Phase 2 of the All-Star results. So, we did speak about the first couple of All-Stars. Here it is. Here we go. Top overall vote getters. Ernie Clement, second base for the Blue Jays, 3.2 million votes. And, of course, National League. Shohei Ohtani, 3.3 million views for the Dodgers. American League catcher Shea Langouris from the future Las Vegas Athletics. Alejandro Kirk from the Blue Jays. Wow, I did not know that. First base, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Ben Rice, Blue Jays and Yankees respectively. Third base, where's second base? What is your second base mean? You got the first base, but you got your second base. Third base, Kazuma Okamoto, the Blue Jays, and Junior Caminero from the Rays. And then shortstop, Bobby Witt Jr. from the Royals, Andres Jimenez from the Blue Jays. Holy shit, how good are the Blue Jays? And then outfield, Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, Byron Buxton, Cody Bellinger, Dalton Varsho, and Jesus Sanchez. How good are the Blue Jays? Designated hitter, Yoran Alvarez, and George Springer. Oh my god, how good are the Blue Jays? Why do they have... Is this the Blue Jays versus the National League? National League catcher, Drake Baldwin from the Braves. Will Smith, not getting jiggy with it, from the Dodgers. First baseman, Freddie Freeman, Dodgers. Matt Olson, Braves. Ozzy Albies, Braves. Bryson Scott, Phillies. Max Muncy, Dodgers. CJ Abrams, Mookie Betts. It's going to be the Dodgers versus the Toronto Blue Jays. Because everybody from these teams are just from the Blue Jays or from the Dodgers. So, that's lame. But yeah, All-Star Game weekend's coming up in a few weeks. We'll talk about it. We get excited. But for now, we need to talk about something that happened. The beginning of these young men's lives has started on Tuesday. The NBA draft is happening, or it did happen, because that's what happens in past tense. We're going to get the results of everything. And, yeah, by the way, quick note, the NFL draft will be held in D.C. April 29th to May 1st. Let's get the... who uses Bing? Why do I still have Bing? Hey, ChatGPT, I tell you not to use Bing. Set up my computer where I don't gotta use Bing. French people, I swear. 2026 NBA Draft. AJ Empanadia. Oh my god. I'm just having a good time. AJ Damanstia went number 1 to the Wizards. Darren Peterson, number 2 to the Utah Jazz. Cameron Boozer, number 3 to the Memphis Grizzlies. Callum Wilson, number 4 to the Chicago Bulls. And Keaton Ladler, that makes sense, to the Los Angeles Clippers. Mavericks got Morez Johnson Jr. in the first round. And we also got somebody late in the first round. Wow. This is a little bit ridiculous. Teams like to trade picks. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. But the fact that Dallas Mavericks drafted Kobe Pete at 30 from Oklahoma City, Washington, and Philadelphia, and then traded to Phoenix. And then the New York Knicks from Washington via Oklahoma City and Houston traded back to Houston. It's a lot of moving parts to draft an 18-year-old kid. Memphis Grizzlies from Phoenix via Orlando traded to Oklahoma City. Making my brain hurt. But that is the draft. Good for AJ Damanstia. I don't know why I can't pronounce his names. But overall, the whole draft is happening. 60 picks. Looking good for the future. Looking good, taking formula. And the Wizards got the first pick. But I think the big news all around National Basketball Association, Giannis Antetokounmpo has left Milwaukee and now he's going to Miami. Yes, Giannis Antetokounmpo is now a Miami Heat after leaving Milwaukee in what we all saw coming for the longest time. He was just tired of just being in Milwaukee. Oh, that's cute. You Google Giannis Antetokounmpo, and then it says, welcome to Miami. And Miami Heat colored confetti comes down on the screen. So that is cute. I think he'll do great in Miami. He was always a great in Milwaukee. They won it in 2021. But ever since then, it was just Giannis won it out. Giannis won it out. I'm just trying to find out who he got drafted for and all that stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be the Milwaukee Bucks had officially traded superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo and Bobby Portis to the Miami Heat in exchange for Tyler Hero, Kali Ware, Yami Yaz Jr. I'm not even pronouncing that name, and a massive draft package that includes a number 13th overall pick in this year. So that was, when we go back to the draft, number 13 pick. That man is Nate Admint, traded to Milwaukee. So, but yeah, Giannis is gone. He is no longer in my Milwaukee. Honestly, Milwaukee to Miami sounds like a hell of an upgrade. No disrespect, the coolest man in the world is from Milwaukee, the Fonz. But Wisconsin or Florida, pick your battles. Cheese or cocaine? No, I'm joking. Not really. GTA 6, by the way. Speaking of Miami, Vice City is coming out for pre-order. I don't know why you would pre-order a digital game, but once that comes out in November, we're going to have a whole segment dedicated to GTA 6. GTA, but good for Giannis. Also, another pick, another trade is LaMelo Ball from the Charlotte Hornets is traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Naz Reid and a series of draft picks. In addition to Reid, the Hornets will receive a 2033 unprotected first-round pick and 3 second-round picks, 2029, 2032, 2033. Charlotte also gets first-round pick swaps in 2028, 2029, and 2030. So technically, Hornets are going to receive a 2033 first-round pick. It is 2026. Technically, LaMelo Ball got traded for 8th grader. Because if you do the math, 4 years, finish high school and then maybe 2 years in college. But that's insane. That's going to be, I've always kind of liked the Milwaukee Timberwolves, I like Ricky Rubio. Thought it was cool. Kevin Garnett. Always thought like they had the cool jerseys. But Timberwolves, what is their lineup looking like now? They got LaMelo Ball, Mike Conley Jr., Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert. Sounds like ice cream. So that's a heck of a team. Dante DiVincenzo too. But yeah, he is big trades. LaMelo to the Hornets, Giannis to the Heat. I think we're going to see a lot more of that coming in the next few months. But we do got to look at the Summer League because the Summer League is right here in our backyard. I definitely want to go this year. Check out the Summer League schedule 2026. July 9th to July 19th. Gonna be good. Las Vegas. We got the Nets, the Warriors, the Lakers, the Heat, the Bucks, the Kings, and the Spurs. And then the Las Vegas Summer League is the official Summer League of the NBA. So I think every team is gonna be here. July 9th, we got a bunch of teams. Mavericks are facing the Warriors. Thomas and Mack might have to check that out. The Knicks, July 10th against the Nets. July 11th, we got the Mavericks and Lakers. So, best friend Terrell, we got to go. So, it's going to be, 8, 9, 10, 11 days of Summer League fun right here in my own backyard. So, but, we did talk about the end of... Oh, wait. There is one thing I got to talk about before I leave. No, the topic of basketball. Today, back in 2003... one of the greatest draft classes in NBA history was drafted at the theater at Madison Square Garden. 2003, a young kid from St. Vincent St. Mary High School in Akron, Ohio was drafted number 1. LeBron James drafted number 1 today, this day in history. Carmelo follows at the 3rd with the Nuggets. Bosh, number 4, the Raptors, and Wade at the Heat. Chris Kaman came in with the Clippers at 6. David West, 18, with the Hornets. Now, here's the thing. We got LeBron James, greatest player of all time. Carmelo Anthony, one of my favorite players of all time. Chris Bosh, not 1, not 2, but 3. And then Dwayne Wade, also Hall of Famer in the future. Why? Whoever was in charge of the Detroit Pistons. I know you don't know. This is all speculation. Yeah, you don't know. You can see, you can't, not a Brashadamas. But you missed the mark by drafting Darko Milicic, number 2 to the Detroit Pistons. I remember watching. This is a true fact. You can even watch it on the YouTube. When the NBA lottery happened and the Cleveland Cavaliers, no shocker, got the first pick. The owner or the coach of the Cavaliers, I've never seen anybody so excited. The stores were already selling LeBron James jerseys. But for LeBron James got drafted today, on this day, let's see. The 2003 draftees represented one of the deepest talent pools in NBA history. We talked about those 4. Darko Milicic never played at the level expected of him in the NBA and is widely considered a draft bust. 9 out of the players were drafted all-stars at least once, and as of 2026, James is the last remaining active player from this draft. Wow. So, that's just a little fun history lesson today, back in 2003. And LeBron's still playing at a very high level, too. Speaking about baseball draft. Oh, what is the baseball draft? I didn't even think about that. I think that's more in July. They should make... Okay, I was going to say, they should make that part of, All-Star Weekend. Like the draft. I think they do. Somebody call Bud Silic. Yeah, I think he's dead. Hold on. Is he dead? Yeah, he's dead. Don't call him. No, he's still alive. You can call him. I'm having fun. Today's going to be a good day. Anyway, let's check up on those. Did we break 50? Guys, we have broken the record of all views. 52 views for Brat Said That 71. I'm so excited, and we're excited. We're doing it. But the hockey draft is just moments away. We're gonna give a little preview, the little mock draft projections for the first few picks. Number 1, Toronto Maple Leafs are expected to draft Gavin McKenna from Penn State, left wing. San Jose Sharks, Ivor Stenberg from Florida. Vancouver Canucks, Chase Reed from the OHL. Buffalo Sabres, our team. Caleb Malhotra from Bradford. The New York Rangers, Albert Smits, defenseman. Calgary Flames, Carson Carols. Seattle Kraken, Daxon Rudolph. Winnipeg Jets, Viggo Borchik from Djursgården. Keaton Verhoff from San Jose Sharks. And Ethan Belchetz from the Nashville Predators. Obviously, this is just the projections. I think the draft is happening right as we speak, actually. But, just want to talk about that. Just want to talk a little bit about that and this and this. FIFA, the World Cup, it heating up. We are almost at the knockout rounds. Let's see, last show was the last show was, what was the last show? Let's look. Last show was 22nd. So, Argentina defeated Austria 2-0. France, Iraq 3-0. Norway, Senegal, Norway 3-2. And Algeria defeated Jordan 2-1. Tuesday, Portugal defeated Uzbekistan 5-0. Wow. England tied with Ghana 0-0. Croatia 1-0 over Panama. And Colombia defeated DR Congo 1-0. Wednesday, Switzerland defeated Canada 2-1. Bosnia and Herzegovina 3-1 over Qatar. Morocco defeated Haiti 4-2. Brazil with a shutout over Scotland 3-0. South Africa with a win over South Korea 1-0. And Mexico over Czechia 3-0. And as of yesterday, Cote d'Ivoire defeated Caracas. I can say Cote d'Ivoire, but I can't say Caraco 2-0. Ecuador 2-1. Netherlands 3-1 over Tunisia. Japan and Sweden tied. Turkey A defeated Team America 3-2. How do you lose to a cold cut? Paraguay, Australia 0-0. Okay, Austria and Australia need to get together. One of you guys got to change your names. Okay, you can't both be going out with the same outfit on. And then today, France challenged LGBT. Big win over Norway 4-1. Senegal over Iraq 5-0. And then Cabo Verde and Saudi are playing. Uruguay, Spain, New Zealand, Belgium, and Egypt and Iran. But the knockout stage is happening soon. We know it's America, Mexico, Germany, I believe. But we got to see who else is going to be part of that knockout stage. Let's see, 2026. This is called Dead Air. Alright, so. Oh, wow. We have Mexico, South Africa, Group A. Group B, Switzerland 1, Canada runners-up, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. Winner of Group C, Brazil, Morocco in second. The United States won Group D. Goddamn right we did. Australia, Germany won Group E. Ivory Coast runner-up, and Ecuador third place. Netherlands wins Group F. Japan and Sweden. France, parlez du français, won Group I. Norway runner-up. Argentina won Group J. And Colombia is qualified, but we are looking forward to the knockout round. Germany. We got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on, but just know, if I said your name, if I said your country, you're still in. So, Mexico, South Africa, Switzerland, Canada, Bosnia. I feel like Animaniacs. Mexico, South Africa, Switzerland, Canada, Brazil, Morocco, United States, Australia, Germany, Ivory Coast and Ecuador, Netherlands, Japan and Sweden, France and Norway, and Argentina, and Colombia and Bosnia. I'm having fun. Fuck you. No, don't fuck you. Cut that out. Anyway, man, I don't really want to talk too much because Babe's going to be home. But WNBA had a little bit of a scuffle. Caitlin Clark, the face of the WNBA, she got into it with Phoenix Mercury, Alyssa Thomas. Thomas made contact with Clark's throat neck area with her fist while trying to make a play on the ball. Looked pretty painful. Go check it out. Clark immediately grabbed at her throat and was visibly shaken despite the contact. The officials did not call a foul on the play, and the game continued. So, yeah, that's pretty messed up. So, I'm just going to give Alyssa Thomas, for your assault on the face of the WNBA. I know it's not Aja Wilson from the Las Vegas Aces. It's certainly not Angel Reese from whatever team traded her. For hurting poor, dear Caitlin Clark. You won the Bratwurst Award of the week, yes. Yeah, don't do that. I mean, I really have no other Bratwurst Award to give it to. But before we go miscellaneous, we got to talk about, you see it on the background, Jackass, The Best and Last is out today. The very final Jackass movie. I hear it wasn't good. I hear there was no new stunts, just a bunch of clips and about a couple new stunts. But Jackass is very important in my life. I grew up as a brat watching the Jackass. What is Jackass? Well, Jackass was a reality series, which is crazy. Because if I told you Jackass only had 3 seasons, you'd be like, yeah, 3 seasons, that seems like a lot. There must have been 100 episodes. There was 25 episodes of Jackass. Starring the beloved Johnny Knoxville, Bam Margera, Chris Pontius, Dave England, Steve-O, rest in peace Ryan Dunn, Deidre Aaron, Preston Lacey, Wee Man, and Brandon DiCamillo. Created by Jeff Tremaine, Spike Jones, and Johnny Knoxville. A little offspring from the Big Brother, Skateboarding magazine, which Jeff Tremaine was an editor. Johnny Knoxville was like, well, I'm going to be a jackass. And he got a bulletproof vest, went to the desert, shot himself, and that was the beginning of Jackass. Then they met up with Bam Margera, who, listen, I know Bam has had his problem the last 15 years or so, but I always looked up to Bam. I always wanted to grow up and look just like Bam, but I ended up looking just like Phil. Actually, Phil Margera, great guy, doing great. Ape, doing great too. But, they had their CKY, Can't Kill Yourself, Ryan Dunn, Brandon, Rab himself, Rick, Jan, and, April and Phil. And Don Vito would eventually come. They would team up with Jackass and just have a whole show on MTV where they did stupid stuff. They kidnapped Brad Pitt. They shot a rock. They put a cartoy in Steve-O's butt. They had their movies: Jackass 1, Jackass number 2, Jackass 3, Jackass Forever. Now Jackass 5, which aka Jackass, The Best and Last. I've loved it. There's always been issues with Bam Margera and the other cast, but I hope that they get that reconciled. I don't think I'm going to see it. I hear it's not good, but it definitely was fun watching that, like the peak of MTV. Just the silliness that just brought upon it. I love Wee Man, Preston Lacey, always like chasing him down the street in his underwear. So yeah, they got a new cast too. Poopsies, Jasper, Zach Holmes, Rachel Wolfson, Eric Moncala, and Dark Shark. They're kind of the young blood that the Jackass boys need, because Johnny Knoxville is in his mid-50s, which is crazy to say. Well, yeah. Go check it out though. It was part of our youth I remember I had a Johnny Knoxville shirt on like my 12th birthday. Of course, it's Fun Off, Wild Boys, and one of my favorite shows of all time, Viva La Bam. We'll talk about Bam Margera eventually, you know. But, you know, they had a video game come out. It was just, it was fun. I mean, that, like, you know, let's see, the controversies. There he is. Speaking about a jackass, we have not only a huge jackass, but the man who is going to run WrestleMania 11 today. I cannot wait. I'm doing this show to promote WrestleMania. I'm going to try and get that card up real quick because we're going to go over it. I know we gave our predictions a few weeks ago, but I'm really looking forward to the main event of WrestleMania. Trash versus trash. Orlando Joshua versus Tanner Tuttle. Who is going to be the second ever two-time? You can't see it because it's behind me, but I got my two trash cans. Two-time WrestleMania trash of the night. I said Orlando, but Tanner, I'm picking, because I feel like I have a huge say in this. I think we're going to see Orlando Joshua use his jackassness and become another trash of the night winner, loser, I don't know. But it's got to be good. Then you got father versus son, Carlos Anthony versus his own child, Cameron Anthony. I thought the father was going to win, and I still think so too. I think Carlos Anthony is going to walk out with a win against his son. That's going to be good. Best friends go at it. Coda Hawk versus B. Pitts. I'm not quite sure what his first name is. I know Coda. I like Coda. I don't know B. Pitts. But Coda's not very, let's say, fan favorite. So I think we're going to see B. Pitts run that out. AJ Rivera versus Jay Willett. Battle of the Heartthrobs. Don't know much about AJ Rivera, but I think Jay Willett is going to get it done. And Brad Holtby versus Christina Marker, making their WrestleMania debuts. This is up in the air. But I got to go with Christina Marker. I think she's going to win the crowd over. But that is going to be tonight. Wise Guys Comedy Club. June 26th, 9:30. General admission on $25. Get your tickets now at wiseguyscomedy.com. But other than that, that's the show. And I've had a really good fucking show. So, Babe's going to be home in a second. So I'm going to get off. And well, not like that. Get your mind out of the gutter. But overall, let's recap the show. We got Night of Champions tomorrow. We're looking forward to that. King Jay and Queen Liv. SmackDown happens. Spoilers. Watch it. Sunday, Great American Bash, Slammiversary, and Forbidden Door. Back to back to back. Wrestling. Rest in peace, Joe Doering. NWO Chronicles Week 5. We are 1 week away from finding who the mysterious third man is going to be. UFC Fight Night for Z versus Torres. For Z needs a bounce back. Torres looking to continue that win streak. UFC White House has breaking numbers. Good for them. Usyk vacated all heavyweight championship belts. Looking to plan one last stance. MLB fired their head coach. You know what? I'm going to take it back. I'm going to recede the Bratwurst Award. And I'm going to give it to the New York Mets. Because they're trash. No pun intended. The hockey draft is coming tonight. Check it out. Giannis to the Heat. LaMelo to the Hornets. We look back 2003 and we look back this. Whatever. Anyway, FIFA World Cup. Go Team USA. How do you lose to Turkey? And Jackass. Go check it out. And WrestleMania's tonight. So, we used to say love each other. Love yourself. and love sports. And we will always say that. But this was a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and a whole lot of Brat. Alright, guys. We'll be back Monday. Bye, guys.